What's going on YouTube? CM Motor here. Today I want to tell you guys about my 2-year ownership of my Triumph Speed Triple. Stick around.
Popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got their gas and they always be smoking like a rock star.
Yeah guys, it's been 2 years that I've been owning this baby right here. So we're gonna talk today a little bit about it. I think it's enough time of riding it so I could really tell more or less how I feel about this bike to help out other riders that if they want to buy a Triumph Speed Triple or the Street Triple. Basically the same thing, was a smaller engine. Even used or newer, they could more or less have a choice of what, if they like it or not, if they want to get it or not. So let's start with comfort. This bike, comfortable as hell, nice seating position. The seat is wide, it cushions up your butt pretty well. The way you're sitting down on it, it's like you're a little bit forward, so you don't put all the weight on your back and even your wrists. So I think you're sitting just at the right position. This past summer, man, we just did 1,100 miles in 3.5 days, almost 4 days, because we camped out and then we climbed Mount Washington and we did a lot of miles. And I was completely fine, man. I could have ride this for a whole week. You know, we were doing like 8-9 hour day rides, just riding and putting miles and miles and miles, stopping for a little bit just for the night and a little bit in the afternoon to camp or to rest a little bit or to eat, to go to the bathroom, basically to eat and then fill up the tank. So in terms of comfort, that's why I think this bike is one of the best bikes out there for comfort. I'm even thinking about the BMW S1000R or even the Tuono. I've sat on both bikes, and just by sitting on those bikes, you have the feeling of the bike, of you can ride it for a while or not. And the Tuono, I really love that bike, but I cannot ride it for more than probably like 2 hours, not even 2 hours, because the seat's so hard and the way the position is, it's very uncomfortable. The bike, the seat's narrow, and it's a very uncomfortable riding position. But those bikes are good for canyon riding also, but for long rides, I don't think so. I did it on this one. I thought I was gonna get beat up. My brother was telling me, "Oh man, you're gonna get beat up. You're not gonna walk for like a couple of weeks." Perfectly fine, did it fine. He did it on his Tiger because it's meant to do long rides, and I did it as whatever he did, I did, and I was completely fine. In terms of gas tank, I think it's a 4.9 or 5.1. I'm not sure. I think it's a 4.9 gallon tank. You could just like ride for long periods of time, and you don't have to worry about gassing up every 150 miles. So that's pretty cool. Like in case you're doing like a long ride, and plus we were ripping it, so that's why the more you rip it, the more it drinks, kind of like me almost. In terms of suspension has a short suspension in the front and the rear. This one doesn't have the Öhlins suspension. This one is not the Yard, it's the regular one. I don't need the Öhlins suspension because I don't go to the racetrack. I don't do none of that. I guess if you go to a racetrack, you get the right bike for the track. Probably a Daytona 675 or something like that. That's a good bike for the track. Not too heavy, not too light, not too weak, not too powerful. It's just in between, and it has a lot of power, believe me. Triumph makes good bikes. And the suspension, yeah, we've been through hell on this bike. The suspension is pretty good. We rode in the rain, we rode in the sun, we rode in mud, we rode in dirt, we rode in rocks, we rode in asphalt, and this bike handled pretty well, man. I was really impressed with the way this bike did everything to this long trip. Because you know when you go on long trips, it's sunshine in New Jersey. We might not be in New York or you know, Vermont or whatever, you know. So the weather changes. You know, I saw snow in July in New Hampshire, so imagine that. Will I do it again on this bike? Most definitely. If I don't have any other bike, I will still do it on this bike. I'm planning on going on Tennessee next year. And if one of you guys never did a long trip on your bike, please do, man. I think you have the best time in the world, man. If you go with your family member or your wife or your girlfriend or whoever, or in a couple of friends, you just go. enjoy, man. Go camp, go and, enjoy the roads. There's beautiful states, beautiful cities, beautiful countrysides, and awesome places to visit. And the best thing of all, man, is riding your bike the way it's supposed to be ridden. The brakes, it's Brembo brakes, as a quad, Brembo brakes in the front. In the rear, they're not Brembo brakes. The brakes are pretty large and powerful. It has a big bite, has a strong bite. Even though this bike doesn't have all the bells and whistles, I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. You have to control your wrist, that's all. And it makes you respect more the bike when you know that you don't have all those amenities to save you from something really bad. So this suspension is pretty cool for this bike, and has a 3-way adjustable, like I said, plus this loose chassis that they put in a 2011 and up. It handles pretty well, man. No wonder this bike won, I think, from 2011 to 2013 best super naked bike from Motorcycle USA. This one from 2011 to 13, it won all those years as a super naked bike of the year. So it's pretty cool for a little Triumph 1050cc engine. So what else do we have to cover here? The engine power, 1050 cc's, 3 cylinders. I could go on twisties or highway riding or anywhere and just chilling in 6th gear and doing like 75-80 miles an hour, and then you just roll the throttle. You don't even have to go 5th or 4th, you just roll the throttle, man. It has enough power and torque to take you up to 100 real quick. And torque, has torque for days. I think this bike has around 78, 79 foot-pounds of torque. Like, if you really notice the torque when you're riding in the city or like small roads between cities, from Newark to Elizabeth to Jersey City to whatever, like when you have just a couple miles in between, really feel the torque on this bike because you are in between 2nd and 3rd gear, and 2nd gear of this bike is like almost like 1st. You gotta be careful because of you don't have all the amenities that the new bikes have now. And yeah, man, I really enjoy style. Let's talk about style. I don't see many bikes like this around. I don't see many Triumphs. I don't see many speed triples or street triples. I see a lot of Hondas, a lot of Kawasaki's or Yamahas. But style on this bike, it's unique. You don't see these many bikes around. The single one-sided swing arm, it's sick, looks awesome. The only thing I didn't like on this bike was I didn't like the 2 exhausts in the rear, big exhausts under the seat. They designed it and they told people, oh, it's because we want to show you the one-sided single swing arm. It still looks good. It looks even better, sounds much better, and I think it performs much better than those cooking pans that they have under the seat. And plus, it looks much cleaner. I mean, in my opinion. Most people don't like the headlights. Me personally, I love the headlights. It's unique. Nobody has it. You rarely see these bikes around. Like, I get stopped all the time. Everywhere I'm stopped at the red light or stopped on traffic. People just open the window and start talking to me, telling me how nice my bike is. The only thing that I could say bad about this bike that I really don't like, it's the clutch. Heavy clutch. Freaking heavy clutch. Like, if you're really in traffic for like more than an hour or so, your hand starts to hurt. But other than that, if you're riding and you press the clutch regularly, it doesn't hurt much. It's normal. But if you're really in traffic in long period of times, it sucks because the clutch is really heavy. In terms of weight, this bike with all the oils and full tank of gas, it weighs probably like 476 pounds. That's what it's stated on Google. It's a bit heavy when you move it around, like just because it's a 1000cc bike, 1050cc. It's a bit heavy when you're moving it around on the garage or something. But when you're on the road, the bike is completely light. The reason I did this video, there's 2 reasons. One of them is because the weather sucks outside and we can't ride, and that sucks. So the second reason is for potential riders they want to get into a different style of bikes instead of the super sport to go to super naked. There's a bunch of choices. To me, my favorite of them all is the Aprilia Tuono, but no comfort, sitting on a brick. My opinion is, if you want to get one of these bikes, go try one out first. Just don't get it for looks. Don't get the bike that, oh, I like the Ninja H2 and I'm gonna get it. Okay, you're gonna get it. What if it doesn't suit you well? What if you don't like riding it? Then you're stuck with the bike. I guess go try bikes around, man. Go try them out, sit on them, see if you really like it. And if you really want to change from a super sport to a super naked, these bikes, the way you're sitting and the way you ride them, they're very comfortable. And yeah, man, if you guys really like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you guys didn't like it, thumbs down. And for all the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to me, man. And if you guys usually like this video, you know, hit the like button. And for all the new subscribers that aren't subscribe. And that doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, man, catch you on the next one. Deuces.